Hello, Pisces. Welcome and welcome back, you guys. We're going to get into a reading for you guys to see what could possibly be underneath the surface that you guys need to be aware of, okay? So you guys be sure to use your intuition. Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong. That would not behoove you. I would behoove you not to do that. I would behoove you to take the information and the knowledge and weigh it up against what you already know to be true and figure out whether or not you need this information at all, whether it's something that you may need later, or whether it's just a confirmation for you about what you've overcome and already processed. So I hope the messages help you guys. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments, let me know if it resonates for you guys. Thank you so much for all of your comments and all of the wonderful things that you guys say. Even if I can't reply to all of your comments, I do see that you guys comment and you share whatever is on your heart to share. So I appreciate that. If you would like to leave a comment, just make sure that you protect yourself online and, don't put too much of your personal information, because there's a lot of weird poaching going on out here in these internet streets, and I want you guys to stay safe and protected. All right. What else do we need to talk about? Basically, I think that's pretty much it. You guys, if you want to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below. You will always find that link if you want to book. I will never solicit you for a reading in any social media space, right? If anyone with my information comes to you and says I was reading your energy, it's a scam, okay? Because the only way you can book a reading is going to my official website and booking. All right. And then if you guys want to donate or contribute to the channel to help support, you can do so using the PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle links below, okay? So we're going to see what's going on underneath the surface for you guys to see what you need to know. And hopefully this will help you identify what you need to do moving forward in your situation. Whatever is going to come out in this reading is going to be things that you need to know, and only things that Spirit deems it necessary for you to know so that you can continue to move along your journey most seamlessly and as easily as possible. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it, Pisces, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for Pisces. Let's see what you guys need to know, what Spirit feels like you need to know at this time. What is going on beneath the surface or underneath the surface, Spirit, that Pisces should be aware of at this time? Most importantly for Pisces, what do they need to know? Most importantly, oh my God, these cards always come out, child. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, Pisces. I think Spirit could be reading some of y'all down, or Spirit could be reading someone close to you down. Okay, remember that these messages, if they are not directly correlated to you, they also could be related to people who you know or people who are connected to you in your life. Now, the first card that came out is private relationship, but it came out in reverse. So this could be about a public relationship, or a relationship where someone is like solidified, or where a couple is solidified. Their relationship is not private, it's not secretive, it's something that people are fully aware of, or that's been made public. Okay. Then we have pregnancy test, unsure results, pregnancy scare, positive or negative. So regardless of the results, someone could be finding out that they're pregnant, or they could be worried that they're pregnant, worried that they have a baby on the way. Okay. This could be someone who already has kids and they don't want any more kids, or this could be a person who has difficulty with pregnancies. This could also be a metaphor for something that's going on publicly in your life, something that maybe you and other people have to deal with. This could be something that affects more than just you. It could affect your community. It could affect your family. But it's a very public relationship, or it's a relationship that people know that you have with another person. It could be a relationship with you and whatever you're doing in your life, what you're connected to, is something that you're connected to that people are aware you're connected to. Or it's a person that you're connected to that people know you're connected to. And this person could be pregnant, or this person could be questioning whether or not they should keep a child. This could also be you kind of metaphorically being unsure of whether or not something is going to grow, right? Pregnancy speaks about seeds being planted, new opportunities, growth of a situation, or a situation that has the potential to grow. And you could be unsure about the results that you're receiving in a situation. You're not really sure how to decipher them. You're not sure what they're telling you, right? What are the results saying? Is there even any potential in this situation for growth? And that could be something that you're unclear about, okay? You could also be a little fearful of something that is growing in you, okay, or growing within you. This could be a feeling that's growing within you, a child growing within you, or it could possibly even be like something that you're putting energy into that you're a little bit afraid of when it comes to it coming to fruition. So whatever happens at the other end of the situation, whatever happens as a result of the situation that you're in, and however that outcome would look in your life, hypothetically, is what you could be nervous about. What is it going to look like? Is it going to be something I enjoy? Is this going to be a positive experience? Should I continue to follow through? Are the results actually real? Are they showing me something tangible that I can hold on to, that I should actually follow through with? Okay. Y'all got to excuse me because there's a lot of people talking outside and it's distracting. So there could be a lot of distractions. And again, we are back in this phase of our journeys and this phase of our readings where all of a sudden, whenever we get ready to come on here and talk about things, there's a lot of interference. So you guys could be experiencing a lot of interference when it comes to you trying to like focus and think clearly. There could be a lot of noises or weird situations that pop up where it feels like you're being pulled away from your focus. So just be aware of that, be mindful of that, and adjust yourself accordingly, okay? But yeah, it's unclear right now as to whether or not something will be positive or negative, whether it's literally a pregnancy test or whether it's something that you want to grow in your life. You're unsure of whether or not this is a good idea, okay? Then we have betrayal, but it's in the reverse, okay? This is the betrayal card. And it says deceit, backstabbing, traitors, untrustworthy, or unworthy of trust, right? A rat. Somebody who's a pest, somebody who's a rat, somebody who could be a snake. But it came out in reverse. So if you're in a public relationship with someone, or you have a connection with a person here and your relationship has been solidified, you guys have decided to be exclusive. You may feel like this person is betraying you, but I don't think they're actually betraying you, because at the bottom of the deck is very interesting. You have knowing they fucked up, along with red lipstick stains underneath that. So there could be evidence that you are noticing, or evidence that you're picking up on, that somebody messed up, or the evidence that you see makes you feel that either you or someone else messed up in the situation. So let me explain. If you're in a connection, and this is about a romantic connection that you're in with someone and you guys are exclusive, you could be picking up on signs and synchronicities that are kind of telling you that somebody has done something to betray you, or they are dealing with someone on the back end, or maybe they have somebody pregnant. I don't know if you're watching readings, but this is like the quintessential tarot reading storyline where, somebody is cheating or somebody is betraying you, but you come here for the facts. So I'm going to let you know that you need to check yourself. And I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm saying this to try to protect you and your spouse, or to try to save you from unnecessary heartache. You need to stop listening to whoever is saying these things over and over and over again, right? Without being objective, without looking at it from a higher perspective, without looking at all of the possible options and possibilities. I'm not saying that all of you are in a situation where your partner is completely faithful, but what I'm saying is that there are a lot of propaganda techniques that are going on out here, whether it's purposeful or subconscious, that are trying to get people to be divided Okay, there's a lot of divisive mechanisms that are placed strategically so that people are divided and so that there's a disruption or discord amongst people who are united, because united we stand, divided we fall. And that is the idea. So for some of you, you may even have a person around you who's trying to break up a happy home or break up a happy relationship. And you may be finding different little pieces of evidence that make you feel as if someone who you have trusted is, bad, but maybe you could be reacting based off of some type of inner turmoil or inner trauma that spirit is asking you to check yourself and deal with. Check all the boxes. Look at all the evidence. Compare it, like I say at the beginning of the readings, with what you feel intuitively, and make a decision from a very grounded place, not a place where you're all over the place. Okay. I also feel like there could be possibly a situation where if you are single or you're independent or you're working on something professionally, you may feel like you can't partner with people or you can't trust people around you. You may be unsure of whether or not what you're investing into will grow, because the evidence of a situation may show you some type of deceit or something that you feel isn't fair. And spirit is asking you in the same sentiment as a relationship to check yourself and make sure that you're not jumping to conclusions unnecessarily, because that could have you jumping in a ditch somewhere, metaphorically, that isn't actually going to work out for you. Okay. This could also be a situation where if you are with a person who, you may be kind of like in a situationship, or you guys aren't necessarily solidified in a relationship. You may have a pregnancy scare and you're wondering whether or not you should follow through. Okay. Because yes, ma'am, because you're not sure if this person is going to actually be there for you, if they're going to betray you, if they're going to support you in this child, or if they're going to be a proper parent. What I would say is to talk to this person. Whoever of you guys are in questionable situations and relationships, the best thing for you to do would be to talk to whoever it is that you're dealing with. Now, since we're talking about things that are underneath the surface, right? I feel like there could be a situation that's about to come from underneath the surface to your awareness or to reality, right? Or something is about to come out from behind the scenes to be in the forefront. Okay. A lot of you have a situation where you're going to have to check yourself, because you're about to be in a position where something you're investing in is growing. Something that you're investing in is taking off, and you're going to be like publicly recognized for whatever this is, even if it's just locally. Like this could be your local newspaper or some type of local publication that highlights a business that you've been working on or a project that you've been working on. Whatever it is that you're creating is about to get recognition from people who are observing you completing these tasks, right? And I feel like you can trust this growth, or you can trust a partnership that's coming in, because it's something that wants to be visible. It's something that's not going on in the shadows. It's something that allows you to be seen, or it's something that allows what you're working on to be seen, or it's a person who wants to be in a public relationship with you. And, it's your choice. I can't tell you what to do, but what I would say is that whatever your decision is, whatever you're being faced with, I would definitely move in a way in the near future with whatever comes to your life. I would move in a way where you're always checking yourself. You're always checking the boxes to make sure you're not overreacting, to make sure you're not jumping to conclusions, to make sure you're not being overly obsessive or possessive or controlling about the situation. Make sure that you're not allowing your inner wounds or your inner traumas to dictate how you respond and react to the situation that you're in, because that is going to help whatever this is stay balanced, and it's going to help you stay balanced, right? I feel like some of you guys are going to get recognized for something that you're doing, and then you're going to start to get scared. Okay. You may feel like you can't trust yourself, because a part of the reason why sometimes we attract relationships or friendships or connections where we feel like we can't trust the other person is because, truth be told, at the bottom of everything, at the core of everything, we subconsciously feel like we can't trust ourselves. We feel, for whatever reason, based on what we've been through, and certain decisions that we may have made that didn't turn out in our favor, we feel like, we're unable to make decisions, or we're unable to use our intuition, or we're unable to discern when somebody's telling the truth or when somebody's lying. And Spirit is like, no, check that. Check that at the door right now. Check that coat, because it's too heavy. It's too hot for that coat in here. You need to put that jacket away, hang it up, and don't go back in there and get it again, because it's not really serving you, right? Because before you can trust another person, you have to work on trusting yourself. And I feel like if you identify the reason why you may subconsciously not trust yourself, then you'll be able to see why you could be afraid in whatever this situation is right now. Okay, what else does Pisces need to know that's going on underneath the surface? Okay. Ooh, that's crazy. Not the public eye card came out. So we have single man, and it came out in the reverse. So there's definitely somebody in a relationship. Okay, but they're not. It's like, this could be a person maybe who you've had a relationship with privately, and you guys are about to make this relationship public, or you're about to make it public that you're expecting a child. And this could be something that's very scary, because you guys may be in a position where you're very visible. Okay, I don't know, who's watching, y'all. That might be somebody's story. Okay, or you could be in a situation with someone who is hold on. Let me just hold on. You got single man reverse. You have shedding in the reverse. You have public eye that came out upright, and child support came out upright. Some of you are worried about whether the person who you're having a child with will actually support the child, or whether the relationship will last. Some of you have a child on the way, whoever you are in the situation, and the person is going to keep the child. Some of you who are expecting a child, you may be expecting a child with a person who you didn't plan a child with. And somebody may feel like they made a mistake allowing this to happen. Let me look at the bottom. Ooh, entrapment. Ooh. And then romantic gesture. Wow, what is going on? Okay, so let me break this down. Shedding says getting rid of the old, embracing the new, coming into your power. Okay. I would definitely suggest for any of you guys, because this is okay. This reading is definitely referring to a specific group of people. And if it doesn't resonate with you right now, you never know. Have faith. Hopefully the negative parts don't resonate, but ooh, something is coming to the light. Listen, some of you are about to be in a very prominent position. Some of you are on a trajectory that is leading you towards a prominent, affluent, influential position or public facing position. And because of this, there's going to be somebody around you who's going to start to realize, slowly but surely, as they gather evidence, that they fucked up by either not doing right by you or putting you in a position where they kept you a secret, right? I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but hear me when I say this. Because of something that's growing, because of something that's transpiring in your life that gives you a level of recognition, there's a person here who is going to realize what they missed out on with you. And they're going to try to hold on to you either through having a child or through basically bringing back old memories or reminiscing about the past. If you already have a child with this person, this could be somebody who wasn't really supporting their child. Okay, they may have regretted having a child with you, but they're going to change their tune because something that's happening for you is positive, or there's something amazing that's happening for you that puts you in a very prominent position, right? Whether other people know about it or not, that makes them want to be in a public relationship with you, or makes them want to hold on to the past and hold on to what you guys had, because you're about to come into this power. You haven't come into this power yet, and Spirit is trying to help you right now before you come into this position of power. I don't know exactly how this is going to happen. For all of you, it's not going to necessarily all be like public eye situations or situations where you get recognition. For some of you, it's going to be maybe like, I don't know. For some of you, it could be like a change in like the laws, or a change in the rules and regulations in your city, state, zip code, country, province. And this is allowing for some type of vindication to happen in a situation where somebody was untrustworthy and maybe even deceived you or betrayed you, to kind of like get what they deserve. Especially if they kind of left you hanging with a child, or they did you wrong in some way, shape, or form involving a pregnancy or a child. The tables are going to turn in this situation, and they're going to be, trying to come back with this romantic gesture, or there could just be this like situation where you find them, kind of in a very vulnerable position, and Spirit is telling you to check yourself. Because not only should you check your ego at the door in an effort not to rub something in someone's face, or in an effort not to kick someone while they're down, but you should also check your ego at the door when it comes to being targeted by a person who sees your position and simply wants to take advantage of you because of the position that they see you in, or because of the ways that they feel like you're about to grow. Okay? You don't want to be so egotistical and prideful that you can't see through someone's attempts to entrap you, because it's like somebody is in a relationship, or they're feeling entrapped or stuck in a situation. And I don't think it's betrayal. I don't think it's anything that they did wrong to you. I feel like Spirit wants you to check yourself and make sure you're not, being in a weird, vindictive, vengeful energy. But I do feel like somebody is going to see something take off for you, or somebody is going to be kind of like in a vulnerable, low position because of what they see happening for you. And the way that it's going to create a reaction with them, within them, is something that will put you in a position where, you have to be really careful and tread lightly about how you react and respond to this person, because you don't want to get yourself caught up in a karmic situation, or having to, pay the price for some type of negative behavior towards a person. You don't want to get caught up in a situation where Spirit is kind of testing you to see how you're going to react or respond, and you fail the test. Okay? Because I feel like somebody underneath the surface knows that they messed up with you, or they know that they did something to kind of like betray you or backstab you or harm you in a way. And it could be looked at that way, right? And they may be trying to make up for it now because you're in a particular position. But that doesn't mean that you can just, kick them while they're down, or, rub it in. Okay? So what is it that you will want Pisces to know in this situation? What is underneath the surface that's coming to the surface? What is underneath the surface that's coming to the surface? Yeah. You may feel betrayed because you may find out that someone is in a public relationship. They could be having a baby, or a baby could be on the way. And there's something about it that makes you possibly feel like they owe you in some way. I don't know. We have the Ten of Swords here. So there's definitely a feeling of betrayal, or there's something going on kind of behind the scenes that's shocking. Okay. When you find out about whatever's going on, you're going to be shocked about it. Okay. We have the Strength card here, which is Leo energy. And then we also have the Empress. Okay. Spirit is testing you. Whatever this situation or scenario is a test. Yep. The devil at the bottom of the deck, bitch. I told you it's a test. It's a test to see whether or not you're still attached to a person. It's a test to see whether or not you're going to kick them while they're down. It's a test to see whether or not you've healed from a situation or you've grown from a situation. Because ultimately what this is something that was challenging that happened to you with this Ten of Swords that involves whoever this is, that's either going to find out something about you or you're going to find out something about them. And there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of hurt. There was a lot of negativity. Okay. And you're going to find out something that's shocking about them, or they're going to find out something that's shocking about you. And you're going to have to restrain that inner dark side, that inner demon on your shoulder. Okay. And have the courage to grow from a situation, or to be very regal in a situation, or you're going to have the courage to fight the urge and the temptation to be obsessed about this, or fight the urge and the temptation to get some type of get back in this situation. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but that's what it's about, because there's a strong urge and a strong temptation for some type of petty behavior. And Spirit is saying, hey, check yourself at the door. It's kind of like if your baby mom or baby dad, ex-husband, ex-wife, you know that man. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a good example. You know that man that was real fine and he had them pretty eyes and he was a jailbird. He was in prison and he was real fine. And then he got out of prison and ended up, he had a woman that I think was his wife. I'm not sure if it was his wife. I could be wrong. So I don't want to spread any misinformation. But he had a lady who he was already with, either married to or like had children. I know they had children. And y'all know who I'm talking about. It was that fine model man. Put his name in the comments if you know who I'm talking about. He got out of prison. The lady held him down while he was in prison. Took care of his kids. He got out of prison. They were together for a while after he got out. And then he basically like dipped on her ass and started this modeling career and was really successful in modeling, and then married this like really rich heiress that had a bunch of money, and he was just gallivanting around with her and left the poor baby mama who held him down when he was in prison behind. Okay. And it kind of feels like something like that. And I don't know if it's you feeling like this, as if someone's doing this to you, or if it's somebody else feeling like, you know, that's happening and they're for you and they're watching you do this. But either way it goes, this is like either you being obsessed with someone else's situation, if you're witnessing this happen to them and you feel betrayed and, you know, wanting some type of revenge or get back, or wanting to, you know, have them pay for what they did. Or this is like you being in a better situation and you having some type of upgrade in your life, and like going back, turning around and rubbing it in somebody's face because they did something negative towards you and being petty about it, right? I'm hearing let sleeping dogs lie. So if you stir up, if something good is happening for you in the near future, because this is what's underneath the surface. If you're the person who has something positive happening, there's growth for you. There's abundance. There's something that you were able to overcome. You successfully ended a cycle or closed out a really negative cycle in your life that was really hard for you to close out. You make improvements, you make progress, and then something takes off for you, but then you turn back around to the people who are behind you in your past to do like this, you better check your motherfucking self, because it's a test. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see. This is about you. You have to have the courage not to get revenge. You have to calm yourself enough and calm your spirit enough to have the courage not to get revenge. What is the Ten of Swords? Oh my. The Seven of Wands and the Six of Swords. Look at her, looking behind her. You see what I'm saying? Moving forward from something really tumultuous. A lot of people possibly even coming at you. This could even be some of you guys having some type of positive experience, whatever it may be. And there are a lot of people who come at you and try to like ruin it. And even in the Strength card, you see the tornado is behind her. She's standing here with her lion, chilling. And she's using her power to keep the negativity at bay. Even if the negativity is going on, she's not focusing on it. She's keeping it at bay in her life, in her reality. And that is a sign of growth. Somebody's strategy, I feel, is to come towards you with some type of like negativity or some type of attack. Okay. And the Judgment with the Seven of Swords. Yeah. Let me see. What's the Strength card before I say anything? The Moon. And the Magician. This is like a campaign. This is some type of campaign that someone is waging, I feel, against you. Because you kind of snuck out, or you snuck through the cracks of something. Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords with the Magician and the Moon card. Clarifying the Strength card. So there's some type of manipulation that's been hidden, or something that somebody's, it doesn't have to be manipulation. It kind of feels like that with the Seven of Swords and the Moon and the Magician. But this could just be somebody taking action behind the scenes. Somebody moving in silence. Somebody navigating, you know, in a very elusive way, right? I feel like somebody is trying to manipulate a situation to create fear within you. Y'all hear the music? All this motherfucking interference and shit. This is a force, an energy, a spirit, an entity, whether it's working through people or just in the atmosphere, that is waging a campaign against you, basically accomplishing this growth or getting to where you need to be, right? And it's just noise. That's all it is. Okay, but somebody is definitely moving in secret or working on something in secret. Okay. And I feel like if this is someone else, they lied to you about what they were doing, or they lied to you about who they were with. It's like maybe you were with a person and you thought that they were single, and you thought that, you know, everything was cool, even though maybe you guys had kind of like a low-key situationship. And they may pop out with somebody, and after telling you for all these years that they just wanted to be single, you're finding out that they're getting married and they got a kid on the way. You get what I'm saying? But y'all had kids together, or y'all made all these plans together. And you're realizing that those plans weren't necessarily being honored by the other person. That's really what it feels like. It's like somebody made plans with you or set something up with you, and those plans aren't being honored by the other person, or somebody feels like that's what you're doing to them. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to see the reality of the situation so that you don't allow this situation to trigger you into being a person or becoming someone who you are not. Spirit is trying to help you stay on the straight and narrow so that you don't become a person or a version of yourself that you aren't really meant to be. This could also be someone, as you evolve and grow in a situation, that has done something to halt your progress or stop your forward progress. But it's like you're finding out about it after it's already been done. And it's kind of painful because it's like you're finding out that somebody was working behind the scenes to create some type of loss for you, or to have you go through a situation where there was loss, right? But at the same time, it's like, because you're already past that stage, because you've already moved past that stage, it's like Spirit doesn't want you to dwell on it, right? Like if I was to blow up on social media, this is, hypothetical. It's going to happen one day. But if I was to blow up on social media and I was to have, people actually like support me on a major, major scale, because I appreciate all of you guys. I'm not trying to be like rude or anything like that. But it has been a struggle for me on this platform. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is an example. This is a metaphor so you can understand. If I was to go from the amount of subscribers that you see me with now to like 1 million overnight, and I had all these views coming in and all these offers for work, and people just wanted to, work with me and collab with me, and I was doing all these big things. If I'm not careful, right? And I get into that situation and everything is looking great and I have all these blessings that I should be grateful for around me. And then I get a letter in the mail from a judge or a court that says all the things written out that have been done to me that I didn't know about as I was working on this process. Or I get some type of information from YouTube that says this person did this person did this is how they did you wrong. And it lists out all these things that I struggled with getting to that point of blessings. And I let that affect me, and I let that get in my head, and I let that shit psych me out. I could end up fumbling my own motherfucking bag. Therefore, that's why Spirit is saying, check yourself. I think somebody's knocking on my door. Hold on. Let me check something. So I thought somebody was knocking on the door, but it wasn't my door. It was somebody else's door. Anyway, y'all understand what I'm saying? Don't let something from the past that hurt you tremendously and that you have a right to be, emotional about or have feelings about. Don't let something from the past that affected you for a long time affect your future. What's the Empress? The Emperor. Oh, Lord. The Emperor reverse and the Page of Wands. Queen of Cups. 9 of Pentacles. This could even be a situation where some of you guys find out that you're a product of infidelity. You're a love child. Some of you are going to find out that somebody had a love child, or because you have the Ace of Wands and the Emperor reverse, clarifying the Empress. You also have the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. You have 2 feminine energies here. You get what I'm saying? You may find out that some of y'all may find out that your father tried to stop your mother and also tried to stop you as a child. Or, hell, you could find out some crazy information. I don't know exactly what this is, but it's about a masculine energy who's, I want to say, dangerous. They're out of control. They're somebody who basically wants to control other people, wants to have the power in a situation, wants to have the upper hand. And with the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, it feels like, this is an emotionally stable, emotionally grounded feminine, a very loving and nurturing feminine, a very self-sufficient, independent feminine energy, as well as the Empress, right? This could be a Virgo. We could be dealing with Virgo, Taurus, Libra, Aries, Leo, Cancer, Gemini. Don't be afraid to use the situations that have happened to you in your past as a tool of inspiration, but don't allow those situations to swallow you up and overtake you. Swallowed up. Okay? Maybe I have Tourette's. I don't know. But it's like, use it for inspiration so that you can, get to the point of accomplishing your goal, but don't let it control you, right? Because a lot of people talk about using your pain for gain and using the things that happen to you to inspire you to move forward. But if you're not careful and you don't know when to cut that connection off or cut that attachment off to the pain of those situations, you'll end up spiraling. You'll end up spiraling and fumbling your own bag. So it's like you're going to have to adapt, or you're going to have to make adjustments to what inspires you or what motivates you once you achieve your goals. And I think that's what Spirit is saying. Okay? Because something is being made public. Okay, that's very clear here to me. There's a situation where something is being made public and you're being asked by Spirit to check yourself, because it's like, if you repeat those old stories over and over in your mind and that's the only tool that you have to inspire you, you're going to end up being entrapped in that cyclic story. And therefore, it's like, energetically, because you're focusing on it, you're kind of dooming yourself to repeat it again. Okay? Somebody could have done something hateful to you or sneaky or deceitful to you and be trying to make amends. That could also get you caught back up in the situation, because you may be the type of person that's like, oh, I don't have to worry about using those old storylines. Like, there could be people watching this who relate to that first piece of advice. But if you're the type of person who's kind of like, you know what, it is what it is. I appreciate what I've been through. I appreciate my trials and tribulations and challenges that got me to this point, but I've also healed from those things. And you're basically the type of person who does everything that you can to keep your mentality positive and optimistic, right? And you try not to let those things affect you, so you don't really pull on it very much for motivation, right? I'm going to give you guys the scenario for you. There could be a situation here where, even though you've overcome whatever this is, or even though you've made such strides in your healing progress, there could be a situation here where the person who you're connected to or who's involved with this situation tries to make amends with you. And because you want to stay in an optimistic frame of mind, you may not see it as a bad thing because you want to be positive, but that could leave you vulnerable. That's number one. Or you try to stay optimistic about the situation, but if somebody were to come to you and try to make amends, you would push them away and you would completely ignore them. And that could also be like a test as well. So I feel like this reading is about tests. I feel like this reading is about spiritual tests. Right? Like, if you have a horrible dad, and he wasn't there for you, but then on his deathbed, he contacts you and, wants to make amends with you, and you don't do that, that's going to be something that you have to live with. That's going to be something that you have to go the rest of your life knowing that you did not attempt to do. And I'm not saying that you're going to have any love lost or that you should make amends. I can't tell you what to do, but this is the type of dynamic that I'm talking about. You're going to have to make a decision about what you're going to do moving forward when the tables start to turn. Because we already know that the tables are turning. It has taken place. Now everybody's getting adjusted to the new side of the motherfucking table. Okay? And you're going to have to figure out how you're going to move. 4444 was just on the timer. Now is the time where Spirit is trying to help you navigate the different dilemmas that you may be faced with and figuring out how you're going to move as you acclimate to the new side of the table. And I just want you guys to know that I'm here telling you about it and attempting to be very versatile with the way that I give my advice, because I don't want any of you to feel that you have to make a decision one way or another, or that you have to do it one way or another. You have to do it the way that's right for you. You have to make the decision that's best for you. And if you don't want to talk to your raggedy ass daddy, or you don't want to accept the attempts for somebody to make amends with you for something wrong that they did, that's going to be your choice. But with every decision comes with its own unique set of circumstances and consequences, cause and effect, okay? So if you're not going to be able to live with it for the rest of your life, because no matter, I mean, for me personally, unless somebody attempted to take my life or harm my children, even if that was the case, you never know what you would do once you're in the situation. We would all love to say that, if it was me, and I was in that situation, I wouldn't, do this or do that or take this person back or forgive them, and cool. But it's very easy to say those things when you're not faced head on with that situation. I think that's what this is about as well. Because even if this is like, say, a celebrity, right? You have all these commentary channels and you got all these people giving commentary on social media. And I've learned this too over time, like speaking on things and saying things and talking about what I would never do. Never say never, bitch. Because sometimes it's crazy how life goes, and it's crazy how spirit moves, and it's crazy how God be working to help people understand humanity. And a lot of this could be situations that you see going on with other people, because I said that at the beginning, and you may be passing certain judgments, whether they're loud or silent, about what people are choosing to do, because you would quote unquote never. But then it's like spirit kind of like twists it, and it's like, okay, well, you said you would never do this. Now you being faced with the same dilemma. What you gonna do? And your idea of what was logical, or your idea of what was the clear answer or the clear solution at the time that you were associating it with someone else, has now become very diluted and confusing. So, I'm not here to advocate any harm that was done to you. I'm not here to side with the people who did you wrong. But what I am here to do is help you to understand situations from a perspective of all sides. That's it. And what you feel like you would never do, or what you feel like would be completely out of the question at this particular moment, when you're not in the heat of the flames, may change later on down the line. So be mindful and check yourself about things that you say, things that you do, ways that you present yourself, and do your best to try and, express whatever feelings that you have from a place, I feel, of love. Okay. Anything else that Pisces needs to know, Spirit? All right. So, because I would never. Oh, okay. Well, what if you, and people love to do that shit. It's so funny to me. People love to be like, oh, I would never be in this situation. I would never do that. I would never accept that. And people be like, well, you never know. Never say never. People are like, well, what if you end up being in that situation? Like, you never know if you're going to end up in that situation. And then the person who's talking is like saying, oh, I would never, because I would never allow myself to be in that situation. Well, maybe God got a different plan for you. Maybe just because you're being arrogant about the way that you're saying certain things, you're about to be put in that situation regardless of whether you want to be in that situation or not. Now what you gonna do, bitch? You get what I'm saying? Because people love to talk from the bleachers. People love to talk from the peanut gallery. People love to talk from in the stands. And talk about how they would never do this and never do that. But if they were faced with the situation, it might not be as clear cut as what they think. And they think just because they have an intention to avoid it that they're going to be able to avoid it. But man plans and God laughs, because God is always in control. And I'm not biblical and y'all know that, but y'all get what I'm saying. Okay. So high honor, another card of recognition. Card number 25, that's a 7. And then you have distant horizons in the reverse. So somebody receiving honor, recognition, praise, admiration, their flowers, whatever you want to call it, is a nightmare for somebody. It's making somebody feel entrapped and shackled. Okay? There could even be a situation where a dream come true or a dream life or a dream reality for one person is a nightmare for somebody else. I don't know exactly what that's about, but that's the message. Then you also had marriage, adjudication, and coffin coming out as well with all of those cards. So this could definitely be a marriage leading to divorce, 3 and 30. So 3-3. Distant horizons was 36. That's a 9. And high honor is 25. That's a 7. Then you also have 19 here, which is a 10. So there could definitely be a contract that's coming to an end, a divorce that's going through the court system, or a marriage that's coming to an end. Some type of partnership is coming to an end. And it's really a nightmare for somebody. I also feel like someone is getting recognition, and it's a nightmare for someone that there's a person here getting some type of recognition. Okay, we also have 28 and 37, 2 more cards that indicate the number 10, both 28, 37, and 19. So we have expectation, coffin, and poverty. All right. So someone was waiting for a situation. It's like they were just waiting for a situation to end, or they were just waiting for something to be finalized. But poverty is like a very vulnerable position, or a very difficult situation. What is this high honor, distant horizons reverse? Marriage. Adjudication. What is this? Oh my. 3 of Cups. This is crazy because it definitely feels like somebody's harvest is coming in, or something is coming to fruition. The Lovers. Ooh, and the 5 of Wands, bitch. Ooh. This is a person making a decision or following a path that is good for them, but is not good for everyone else. Remember that reading I did recently that said what's good for the goose is good for the goose? You may want to go watch that, because what's good for the goose is not good for the gander in this situation. And people are arguing and fighting and upset about this because it's a nightmare. Something is a nightmare. Or something is like causing some type of chaos or conflict within a community or a group of people because of who somebody chose to be with, or because of someone's choice to leave a marriage or end a marriage in a situation. Or there could have also been a group of people that were celebrating someone's downfall. Either they were celebrating the downfall of a person's relationship, or they were celebrating the downfall of someone's career. Just give me one for high honor and distant horizons. Yeah. Ooh, Ace of Cups reverse. Hatefulness, hateful energy. Yep, 5 of Swords at the bottom and the 3 of Swords. This is 8 Swords. This is about a situation where somebody was being hateful, spiteful. They were very unhealed. Or they hated you, or they hated someone else. There's a lot of hatred here that someone has for a person or a couple or a group of people. It's like someone wants to inflict pain. Someone wants to be recognized for inflicting some type of pain. What's the 3 of Cups? What's the Three of Cups? The Four of Swords. Ooh, Five of Wands again. Good God. And the Eight of Wands. Okay. There's something going on here at night. Feel like somebody's casting spells under the moonlight, bitch. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Moon and the Magician, the Three of Cups, Four of Swords, both of which are under the moonlight while someone is sleeping. Folks is out here doing all this shit, stirring up some shit. Somebody may have thought that they were going to be able to silence you, keep something hidden, prevent you from speaking about something. Somebody may have thought that they were going to be able to put you down or sit you down or possibly even do something without being discovered. Do something to cause chaos or conflict without being discovered. Maybe they thought you weren't going to say something. We also had a reading recently talking about Spirit says it's time for you to give your testimony. So maybe you have. But I just feel like somebody is dead set on getting revenge on a person here, right? And you better not let it be you. Don't be over here watching me if you the one causing all these motherfucking problems. You can get right the fuck on with that shit. I don't need your subscription. I don't need your support. I don't need you to be over here watching these motherfucking videos throwing off the energy, bitch. You can take your raggedy ass on. And I said what I said. Because if you're intentionally causing problems for somebody or you're intentionally trying to destroy someone, that is a problem. You are a problem. And you need to move on, let it go, and get over it. Especially if somebody is already with a person or in a relationship and they don't want to be with you. I said it the way I said it. Because that's fucked up. It's some fucked up shit going on right here. And I feel like it's raggedy. I feel like somebody is trying to affect a person's pregnancy or do something negative. And whoever you are watching me, because you mad that whoever you thought belonged to you isn't with you and don't want to be with you and they with somebody else happy, you need to get the fuck on with that bullshit. This could also be a situation where somebody's trying to make you guys out to look like that, the way I just described it. They could be trying to make you out to look bitter, angry, upset. They could be trying to make you out to look like you're causing problems or something like that. And they're in another relationship with somebody else. But because something is taking off for you, they got to try to tarnish your reputation and make you look bad because they know they fucked up and now they stuck. Okay? Regardless of what the situation is, I really do feel like somebody is upset by something good that's happening in majority of you guys' life. And what I feel like Spirit is saying is that this is a test. This is a spiritual test. Okay? This is a spiritual test. Because I kind of feel like you knew that once you stopped dealing with someone or once you stopped talking to someone, that you were going to take your light with you. You took your light with you. And now they're in darkness. But you knew that this was going to happen, or you took your money with you and now they're broke. Or there's a situation here where, like, your gifts belong to you and they weren't going to be able to use them anymore once you left, and maybe they didn't want you to leave and they caused you a bunch of problems leaving. But at the end of the day, you got out of there. You got out of there, you escaped, you did whatever it is that you had to do, and now you're moving on. So even if that situation inspired you up until this point, and even if you got really far off of the fuel of that anger and that pain and trying to transmute it into something that you can gain from, now it's time to find a new source of inspiration. Because Spirit is basically saying that if you're not careful and if you don't check yourself, using that as a motivation for moving forward could be something that actually puts you 10 steps back. So the final advice for you guys, Pisces, is going to be trust yourself and deception. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to try to make you doubt yourself, or a lot of energies, forces, spirits, entities, principalities who are going to try to make you doubt yourself. And Spirit is saying, do not do that, okay? Trust where it is that you're headed. Trust where you're going. Trust the signs and synchronicities. Trust everything that your intuition is telling you about where you're meant to be and what you're meant to be doing. And the fact that you know you belong where you're meant to be, right here where you are right now in this moment. And no one and nothing that comes up to try to deceive you or make you doubt yourself about that is important. It's not important, okay? Still waters run deep. And shadow self, right? Yeah, there's something that, whatever this is, however this fits into your situation, something is bubbling up to the surface to cause you to deceive yourself, or to cause you to believe some type of deception that someone is trying to create. Okay? There's something going on under the surface. Somebody is holding a grudge. Somebody really hates you, and because you're about to get recognized, there's going to be this like wave of something that comes in that is going to trigger you to either lie to yourself, lie to others, or believe some type of deception or lies that someone else is presenting to you. And it's because the shadows coming up from the darkness are going to try to put you in a negative headspace, and Spirit is trying to get you to see that, number one, it's a test. And number two, you have everything that you need to overcome whatever this is that's trying to make you confused about the reality. Okay. So I hope that helped you guys. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Book your personal readings down below. Donate if you can through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle, you guys. I really appreciate all of your support. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it resonated. And remember, Pisces, this is our circle, booze. Bye.